and shit out right now.
Nice.
All right. Here we go. What's up, people? Another night of Quest Podcast. This is podcast number 23, and we have a very special guest with us tonight. Shouldn't really say guest because he's been here before. It's just like family. So I'll let y'all know who this is. Xbot448. Let them know.
What's going on, people? It's the Xbot448. And guys, I appreciate that you kept my lazy boy exactly the way it was. I believe it was in episode 3. I see my ass dent is still in there, and I'm sitting here comfortable on the panel, ready to go.
It's forever imprinted there.
Exactly. Right. We kept it warm for you, man. Next up, the panel members, we have Dark Optimus.
What is up, everyone? I'm so happy to be here tonight. I'm also so happy to have my boy Xbot448, the man who put me on the map, and it's so happy to have you here tonight, man.
That's awesome because Quest Podcast, and you got the whole thing with the scroll and the sword, and you're like on the map. I just put that together, man. Good job, dude. Good job.
That's pretty clever, All right, Remix. Let them know what you got.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Lil Riri, back again. And also, the man that gave me 2 other nicknames, Wild Card. Now he calls me Lone Wolf, Xbot448. He's my boy.
40-year-old man.
Fuck you too, Optimus. And, I can't wait to get on into things tonight because it's going to be a good one.
Yo, Remix, you know what's funny? When I was calling you Wild Card, when I first started that, I was just trying to be nice to you. Like, the whole thing was Lone Wolf because, man, like when we were playing Halo and stuff, how you would just charge forward and not give a shit about your team and try to get all the kills and stuff. Dude, you are a lone wolf.
Hey, Remix say everything for himself.
Can't tame the beast,
Yo, and I'm your host, MBanes99. You already know what time it is. Let's get this show going. First, we're gonna start off with what we've been playing for the week. We're gonna start off with our guest, Xbot. What have you been playing, man?
Oh damn. Let's see. Friday the 13th. I've been playing that game a lot with Snaps. Another, a few other people in the Xbox community, and we've been having a blast. So
this guy here.
I got a shout out. Yeah, definitely. Remix. Dark Optimus. I think you were in. It was a little over a week ago, so I don't know if I could really say that right now. But
wow.
But yeah, Remix is a psycho Jason, by the way. He is an absolute fucking psycho when he's Jason. I don't trust him when he's a counselor. I have a hard time working together with him because he is ready to drive off without me. But
you got us killed, bro.
But I gotta shout out Tommy, Killer Scorpion, just Long Shot. There's been so many people that we've come together to play that game. And that's what actually makes that game fun is like the people that you're playing with. But I've also been doing Rock Band. I've been getting back into Halo. Rock Band, I do a show now every Sunday. I kind of got convinced by the Xbox Pope himself to do this as a weekly thing. And now I'm actually on Facecam while I'm playing Rock Band 4. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been trying to sneak in and get some Horizon Zero Dawn in, but Snaps is really stingy with that game.
I could tell, man. She's kind of like, that's my game. Like, oh,
dude, you it's a quality game when like she's not a single player person. She doesn't get really involved in stories. She likes multiplayer and getting people in the community together. Mm-hmm. But the first day that she put Horizon Zero Dawn in, no lie, it was like 5.5 hours before she got off that game. Like it was absolutely amazing.
She just told you to shut up. So
shut up.
Yeah, I'm into that though. It's okay.
All right, Optimus, what you been playing, man?
Dude, I haven't been playing Persona. If that's what you guys are gonna.
Change.
Oh yeah, sure.
I haven't, dude. I've been playing other games. I've been playing some Hitman. The newest
Persona's
one.
Trash.
Well, wow, dude. Wow. All right. Okay. It's gonna be like that tonight, huh, bot? All right.
Well, dude, did you shower with any old men yet in that game? Because that is side quest.
Yes, a little bit.
Whoa. Yo, Dark, you are fired now. You are fired.
Dude,
I was gonna
sometimes,
invite you
dude,
to
sometimes
on
you gotta.
Halo. No,
dude,
not anymore.
sometimes you just gotta shower with old men just to get through it, bro. Just to get through it.
No.
Yo,
Hey, I
Baines,
wish I
can you
had
mute
that.
him?
I wish I had that K Mega sound when he said no.
No, but I've been playing. I played a little bit of the Calling with Remix. I played Friday the 13th with Tommy Guns and you guys. I played a little bit of Black Ops 2. Played some Siege last night. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. As for myself, I've been playing some Live Lock. It's actually a top-down twin-stick shooter. It's a little indie. It was actually pretty good. It had a pretty decent, serviceable story. But it was cool to kind of change genres a little bit, and play that game. I finished up Far Cry 3, and then I restarted Sunset Overdrive.
Oh,
So
dude, you get MVP for the night for. Hold on, how do you restart Sunset Overdrive? Is what I want to know, man. Because like I can't go back in. Like the whole story is just there. I already beat the game. So
well, see, I didn't beat it the first time around. So I stopped it. So now I just started it over. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm playing through now. Yeah.
See, Baines, I want to try to show people like how good that story is, and I wanted to go back and I wanted to stream it from the very beginning to the end. And for some reason or another, I cannot find a way to start the story over again. Like I have everything on my map, and I'm gonna like it's like
okay, yeah, I know what you're saying because I had to go in and where you have your save data. I had to delete it, and then I did that several times, and it still wouldn't work. So I went back out, and you press it again, and you can it'll give you an option to delete from everywhere, meaning it'll delete from the cloud, the console, everywhere, and then that's how I was able to start over.
damn, they gotta make that shit easier, yeah.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, man, what is this? But yeah, I made it happen, and. So far I'm really enjoying the game. The commentary is like out of this world. Some of the things that he's saying, like I'm just sitting here chuckling to myself, like they did a really good job with that game so far.
Dude, it's probably one of the most underrated games this generation, man.
Yeah, it seems like it. Remix, have we got what you played?
Nah, man, but I've been playing a lot of Friday the 13th, actually. Really enjoying that game. A little bit of Siege, a little bit of Rocket League. I played some Titanfall 2 the other day, as well as the last few days I've been playing a lot of the culling, or the colon, as I think Iceman or Dave would say. But yeah, I've been streaming that with Game Down Sites, a little bit with Optimus, and I've been really enjoying that, man.
Ooh, tell us a little bit about the culling. Like, how's it been working for you so far?
Trash.
Yeah, Optimus thinks it's trash. I don't know. I just think I like the Hunger Games kind of vibe, and it's combat focused, kind of like a rock paper scissors thing. Like you can melee, but a block crosses out a melee, a push crosses out a block, kind of deal. I like the little bit of crafting there is in the game. Like you have this thing called Funk, and you can like make some basic weapons, and then like go to crates and stuff and get better weapons and all that. And it's kind of like a Hunger Games survival. But it definitely creates some like intense moments, and you're kind of like, what should we do? Gabe and I were like, what's the plan? We see a guy over there. Should we attack? Should we wait for him to go fight another group and then attack that group once they're hurt? Kind of thing.
So you can go in as a team.
So.
You can go in
as a 2-person team.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I did the tutorial, but I haven't actually went into a match yet. So I'll probably get into more of that this week.
I've actually
squad up. Just hit me up.
Yeah,
I've actually seen people streaming the culling for quite some time on the PC, and I like the Hunger Games aspect and stuff. But with games like what's it, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, the culling and stuff, I'm a little concerned about this trend because I don't know. You could call me old school or whatnot, but I like games that have the story and the multiplayer to it.
Mm-hmm.
And these games seem to be strictly all multiplayer. Like not necessarily a story. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that trend doesn't kind of like take
At
over
least
the
they're
gaming community.
cheaper though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
well, they
I
can
mean,
be
like-
cheaper, but like I don't want them because
Yeah.
they're going to be crazy popular for streamers, right?
They
I mean,
are.
you can have a ton of fun like streaming that game with your friends and stuff like that. And you know, these systems come with apps and stuff to stream right from the system. So like if they gain a lot of popularity and stuff, I don't want like that focus shift within game development. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It could just be me. I know OSnaps loves a lot of those like multiplayer games and stuff like that. But for me, like every once in a while I like to sit down and really get into a story like that Horizon Zero Dawn. Like we were just talking about with Sunset Overdrive with that comedic storyline to it and stuff. And I hope that the popularity of these games doesn't like overshadow those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
I
with you. I like a good story, you know, but I'm hoping these two genres can kind of coexist because, you know, it's cool to hop in a good multiplayer also. So I guess we'll just have to see how the industry goes. But you know, these games allow you to make money, you know, over time. Because I'm pretty sure I don't know if the Cullen has any microtransactions as of yet, but I'm pretty sure that when they fully release the game, it'll have some. So these type games allow the companies to make money over time, you know. So
I mean, like for me, I'm just getting into these kinds of games, and I've been enjoying them. Though, yeah, I agree. I still want those good story games, and you know, I just started streaming pretty recently too, and so they've kind of been like the perfect game to stream. Exactly. But
Dude, every time I turn around on my cell phone, it says Remixes Broadcasting.
yeah. Well, the other day, like the calling had a couple issues, so you know we had to restart the stream a couple times. But yeah, man, I think it's also just kind of a different kind of game, and I'm enjoying it. And like when we had Tim Dog on the podcast the other week, I believe he said, you know, it's kind of like the new generation of games, which I enjoy those kinds of games, and I want to keep seeing them. But I do want to keep the story games, and I want to see like a AAA developer make one of these kinds of games, actually, because so far they've all been indie based, but I would like to see like what a AAA company could do.
I think we're gonna kind of see that with Sea of Thieves. Like I think that's definitely a streamer based game. It's multiplayer, working with your friends. You know, I think that's the first kind of AAA game that
like the closest thing to it. Yeah,
you know.
Definitely.
All right. Well, moving on. The first topic of the night, we're gonna discuss Hellblade. The release date. They got a release date for August the 8th. If you haven't been following, it's a kind of like a Viking-based title. It's taking a Celtic warrior against the Viking underworld. It's going to tackle topics such as mental health and things like that. The big deal about this, or one of the things that popped out to me about this title, is it was worked on by 20 people, you know, and it's coming out at $30. And if you follow this game at all and you look at any of the trailers, the gameplay, the game looks really good. And for a team this small to put out something like that, I'm just hoping the final product, you know, adds up. But what do you guys think about Hellblade?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Matt. You can go ahead.
All right. No, well, I heard quiet, and when I can't stand quiet in a show, I will talk. I will say absolutely nothing for like 20 minutes if you let me. But when it comes to Hellblade, first of all, I'm not really into that whole Viking Celtic thing, so I haven't really paid too much attention to it. But the developer, I believe it's Ninja Theory, right?
Yeah, they made Heavenly Sword. Actually, that was a really good game.
See, a lot of people point to Heavenly Sword, and I never played that, but I did play their DMC, the remake to Devil May Cry, and they did a great job on that. Unfortunately, they were a little too much of pompous assholes, and they started kind of digging in on the old Devil May Cry, saying how much their game was better. But they are a talented team, and you know, for $30, like I might not be into that kind of era or that mythos or whatnot, but I know they make quality games, and for $30, I don't think you can go wrong with it. You know, I might have to try it out.
It's almost as if you want to just support that type pricing for a title, you know, especially if it winds up being a pretty lengthy title, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like The developer of Friday the 13th, when they decided that the digital game was actually going to be cheaper than the physical game, that was one of the things that put me over the top to endorse that game, because I want to let other developers know this is the way to go. Lawbreakers, Cliffy B's game that's coming out, at least right now, it's announced for PC and PS4. That's a $30 game, and all the DLC is free. I want to support that game. I want to let the developers out there know that, when it comes to certain types of games, the price point is important. And if they lower that price point and kind of average it out to what the game is or whatnot, I am all for that. So I think a lot of people should at least consider, endorsing games that do that type of thing.
Exactly. Remix Optimus, what you guys think?
Well, this game is made
man,
by one of my favorite companies out there, Ninja Theory, right? I think it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Theory's doing it?
Yep.
Yes, Ninja Theory.
Yeah. They did what? Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. They did Heavenly Sword. And this game looks like almost a successor to, Heavenly Sword. So I'm absolutely ecstatic for it. And for them to say that it's coming out in August gets me even more pumped for it. I'm just hoping that that it goes beyond what they did with Heavenly Sword and Enslaved. Because Enslaved got a lot of bad reviews, well, not technically bad reviews, but it was mixed reviews on that one. And but that game is really good. Like, I mean, I don't think it's repetitive, but the story in that game is just so awesome. Like, I love that storyline, and they just know how to, make those kind of, stories be fleshed out and stuff. And I'm just glad to see that they're making games still, because I know they don't really make much, which sucks. I wish they would make more, to be honest.
Dude, we have the Don name dropping in the chat, by the way. He's like, Ninja Theory is good friends of his. Good job, Don. Maybe you can introduce us. You know what I'm saying? To these steps.
Yeah, maybe you can hook me up, Don. I do have your chinchilla ready, sir.
Yeah, why about the Ninja Theory team comes on the Quest podcast. But anyways, Hellblade, man, my opinion, I like the $30 price point. They're like, it has the AAA look, but it's a shorter game, and that's why they think that's the right price point, which, if that's how it turns out, I think that's great. It looks like they put quite a bit of work and time into this game, and I'm really interested in, I believe they're like going for psychosis is kind of what this woman is having. So I'm really interested in like the theme and like what's going to be going on in the background of the game. But I don't know if it's going to be a day one buy for me, just because August is starting to stack up a little bit, I might wait on it for a bit, but I definitely am interested and want to see some more from the game,
Yeah, definitely. The first time I heard about it, I think it was Zaire he was doing, it was pre-E3 2016, I think, and he was doing a show about, what he expected, and then he named this as one that was supposed to come out for Sony. This is a PlayStation exclusive, by the way. But he was naming the games for Sony that he would like, and he said Hellblade, and I'm like, Hellblade, what is that? Because I had never heard of it. Went and looked it up. I was like, oh, this game was really dope, So I started following it from that point on, and that's like I said, that price point, as long as the game, has, a deep immersive story, which it seems like it does, and it has some sort of link to it. I think that price point, especially with it, I don't know if it's a digital title, but it seems like that's a digital price point, And I don't think they're going to reach that hard copy for that. So that's the way to go, man. And I guess we'll have to see what happens.
So you think they're going to go all digital with this game, or?
Well, in that little preview, they said that the reason they've can release it at this price is because they are going digital.
Yeah, so that seems like a digital price point to me, But like I said, looking forward to the game. Any other thoughts on Hellblade? All right, we're moving on. Strange Brigade. Strange Brigade. Let's say that a little slower. All right, it's from the creators of Sniper Elite. I believe it's Rebellion. It's kind of a 1930s type adventure shooter. It's described as full of peril and mystery and daring do. The game is set to launch soon for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox. It's designed for 1 to 4 players. So I guess that's going to be it's going to have some type of story, and it's just saying 1 to 4 players. I don't think it's just going to be some type of horde mode type deal. Did you guys get it?
Hold on. I want to address something. The clown horn is not a clown horn. It is frogs in the background of Bane's
I told you
home.
some people would hear that.
There are frogs. There are frogs.
Don't put me on blast, man.
There are frogs mating in the background right now, and that is what you're hearing.
Here's frogs, people.
The seductive sounds of amphibian sex is what's going on right now.
Hey, what y'all think of Strange Brigade? I'm going on mute now.
Oh man, straight.
Yo, so I'm gonna hop in here, Optimus. So yeah, your whole point on the horde mode. I hope there's more than just a horde mode, because to me the vibe that the little trailer gave was definitely a purely horde mode type deal. But I really like the vibe, like the game's setting off with kind of the British kind of like adventure upbeat guy. Like I really like that. And it seemed really interesting. Almost like it could have a Indiana Jones-esque factor to it, which I'm real interested in. But overall, for me, I need to see more from the game, just because it does look like just a horde mode. So I hope it's more than that. That's pretty much.
This game reminds me of like The Mummy meets freaking King Kong. That's what it looks like to me. Just because it has this like adventure-esque, but you're like on this like island, and the island looks like Skull Island. Like come on, it looks like Skull Island. I do kind of agree with the remix there, where he said, it looks like it might have this Indiana Jones kind of feel to it. It looks fun. It looks like it's going to be a game that you're definitely going to be playing with friends. I cannot see anybody probably playing this solo at all. Unless they have like a story campaign or something like that. But from the trailer, from the little snippet that I saw, it looks interesting. I might give a dabble or two, maybe. I don't know, depending on how much it is. Yeah, well, it just depends on how much you do,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, first of all, I just want to give a couple shout outs if I can to the chat.
Unacceptable.
I want to shout out to my brother Sub-Zero, who's checking us out right now. What is going on, brother? Of course, Black Tiger, who does some amazing work with giveaways on Twitter. Huge shout out to my nephew, Black Tiger. Snaps, of course. Thank you for checking out the show. I know you're doing your cookie peddling business, and it's good to see you in the chat. Game Down Sights, man. I saw you say what up to the Quest panel and to special guest Xbot, so I do have to say what up to Game Down Sights. He's another person that I was playing Friday the 13th with, and he's another one that I don't think I trust so much. But anyway,
that's why we squad up. Me and
exactly. That's what I noticed, that you guys you picked the same counselor, and you guys are just kind of together at the hip. But with this game, I only saw the trailer. I do like kind of like, I guess you could say they're kind of 1940-ish kind of commercial type thing when it came to adventuring and stuff like that. The giant Anubis at the end kind of threw me off, because they're in a jungle and stuff like that, and I know Anubis is an Egyptian god, so I was like, what the hell is Anubis doing here?
There's jungles in Egypt, dude.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. It looked like it was kind of off to itself, like a full tropical or whatever. But I need to see gameplay, and I don't trust Rebellion, guys. I am not a sniper elite dude. I think that game is trash. All right, so like for them to kind of, expand their boundaries or whatever, I like to see the gameplay and see what they have to offer. But as for now, they're not a developer that I really like their work. So
Yeah, I agree. Like I enjoyed Sniper Elite, but I don't think it was worth $60 at all. You know, it was, to me, like I might have paid $30 for the game. And it didn't keep me in it that long. The story wasn't the story wasn't really apparent, but the actual gameplay wasn't that long either. You know, I think I beat it in like 2 days.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I agree with Rebellion need to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't really.
I'm gonna do a little shout out here, because we got Graphic God in the chat right now, and Bot totally skipped him, and
see,
unacceptable,
man.
dude.
Yo, Dark Bloom is trying to hang me right now. Yo, since you shouted out Jake
the man
Dubs,
behind the banner.
The man behind the banner, behind the avatar, behind everything.
Yo, Graphic God, when is M Baines gonna get a t-shirt, man? We need an M Baines t-shirt. Like I need to rock that. You know.
Hey man, I like the way you're pumping me right now, Xbot. I'm telling you.
Dude, I'm
Thank
saying,
you,
man.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. I'm like I praise Bot, and then like I grovel at his feet, and I don't even get no attention like that.
Yeah, that's why you gotta be a shifty guy in Friday the 13th, and then Bot's gonna call you Lone Wolf, and he'll be like, "Peace out, bro." Or actually, I'll probably be the one piecing out or shooting him in the back. Yeah.
Definitely in the back. Definitely. In the back.
My final thoughts on this game. I wasn't too intrigued. I wasn't too intrigued by Sniper Elite 4. You know, I passed on it. You know, I might buy it if it drops $20 or something like that. But I wasn't intrigued by the series at all. This seems like they're moving away from that, so they're trying something different. So I'll look out more for it, but they have to show more gameplay. You know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see how that turns out. Next on the list is Fortnite. It's one of those massive multiplayer online role-playing games. It features a lot of base building, and you're trying to keep out hordes of, it seems like funny looking character monsters. They have different classes. They have like ninja classes and builder classes. Did you guys get to check that gameplay trailer out, and what did you think?
This looks like something that is not going to be up my alley at all. I see Remix being like, "Bro, you gonna buy that?"
No, I'm gonna. Well, actually, I'd pick it up if it's on console. I think it's only on PC.
No, it's on console too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be on PS4 and Xbox One as well. It looks fun. You know, it looks like it's the same thing as the Strange Brigade. You know, it's just it's a little bit more in depth, of course. You know, there's more things going on, but it's gonna be definitely a game with friends, and I don't mind those kind of games. I like playing with my friends. I like playing with everybody. But sometimes I like my single player experiences too, and it looks like we're getting more and more into the multiplayer only aspect of video games, and I'm not too happy about it. I'm with Bot. I'm not happy about it, and I hope it never goes that way. But if it does, then I guess I gotta conform, right?
If it does, you always have Nintendo, man. That is Mario's,
a bunch of story IPs. They just need to put them out.
All I gotta say is that there's motherfucking loot, and I love loot. But speaking of Banes, like your point on the previous game, I actually totally forgot. But like having more. This one's more thought out. I feel there's more to the game, and there's more gameplay. We talked about this game once previously, but there wasn't too much on the game before. Now this game actually has me pretty interested, because before I wasn't really, before we knew about the fort building and you're gonna defend against hordes, but now there's looting in the game. There's different classes. There's a whole entire world to travel around, and then at nighttime, they didn't specifically say, but it seems like the monsters are only ever attacking at night. So you do whatever you want to do during the day, and then you got to get back to your fort and get ready to kill some monsters. And So I mean, I'm honestly really excited about this, man. Seems like a lot more in-depth game than I originally thought. You know, crafting weapons and again loot. Plus, it's not a full $60, you know, which is always good. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for this game actually, and definitely gonna be keeping my eye on it.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it too. The art style is kind of like that Mayhem game that's coming out in August also. And,
Yeah.
so it seems pretty cool. So we'll just have to see what happens. Any other thoughts on that one, Bob?
See, yo, when it comes to these games, first of all, like, one more shout out, yo, Invader, what is up, my brother? But when it comes to these games, yo, guys, not for anything, State of Decay 2 is coming out this year, right?
That's true.
Days Gone, very good chance that is coming out this year. You guys got to, people got to be very careful when it comes to games coming out in August and stuff like that before the big time. Because a lot of these developers will try to get these games out. They'll try to rush these games out before then to make that quick buck. Because they know once the holidays hit, man, then you got all these like AAA like bombs dropping like all over the place. So when it comes to these games, they look cool and everything like that. And I think about the games that are coming on down the line, though. And I don't want to flood my gaming library with so many multiplayer only, have just straight fun with friends and stuff, when there are AAA developers that are out there that have a huge budget that are going to put that money behind the single player and the multiplayer aspect. And base building and all that stuff sounds really good, but that's what I'm holding State of Decay 2 for. You know what I'm saying? I want to go in with that Walking Dead style, me and my friends have to survive, build a base, get supplies and all that stuff. And I'm hyped for that game. And so a lot of these games, like, they're going to go under my radar. And, maybe at some point in time, if there's a sale, after I get the games that I'm really kind of like coveting now, you know what I'm saying? Once I get those games, maybe I'll look back on some of these. But as of right now, a lot of these games are going to go by me, man.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. This one it goes into early access July the 25th. So, I mean, it's still right there close to August. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying, man. We do have a lot of heavy hitters coming. So,
for sure.
Yeah, but
I do kind of have an issue of, picking up some games and then never playing them. Like, I just picked up Shadow Warriors 2 because it was on sale for like half price. I haven't even touched that game yet. But
Remix, were you even interested? Were you even interested in that game, or was it just because it's a game you haven't played and it was on sale?
No, I was actually interested. Like back when they first showed it, I was interested in it, but then it only released on PC. Like I think back in October, and so then it just popped up on console. I was like, oh yeah, I should pick it up. Now, I knew I wouldn't necessarily play it right away, but it was on sale, and that's why I did pick it up when I picked it up,
I got you, man.
I mean, I agree with Bot on some, a lot of the stuff, like with the, some of these games that are coming out. But I think this one, Fortnite, being in an early access in July, a lot of people, I think, are going to actually probably pick this up because of the fact that there's nothing coming out in July. There's nothing significant that's going to be, kind of to kind of teeter on.
But it's the end of July.
Right. Yeah, it's right at August.
August is right there, and August is going to have some games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not going to have a ton of games to the point to where you're like, overwhelmed with games. Because, I mean, Shadow War got pushed back to October. Hellblade is probably the only one that I can think of right now that's coming in August, unless, of course, we see something at E3 or something. But
I'm interested in Absolver as well.
Yeah, you got Absolver dropping in August. You got Hellblade.
Oh, God, Travis.
You have the Uncharted DLC dropping in August. So
here's what it is. Here's what it is, Optimus and Bot, because Baines is kind of a little bit more with me. I play in these AAA games and I enjoy them and stuff, but I need to shake things up a little bit. I want a different experience in my gaming world. That's why That's why I picked up Friday the 13th. That's why I picked up The Culling. That's why I'm looking at some of these other indie games. You know,
Did you guys download Killing Floor 2 yet?
Not yet. Well, I don't have PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
But a few weeks ago, you know, I played like Limbo and Hue, just some indie games to mix things up, because I felt like the shooters and some of the story stuff was just getting a little dry, you know.
Yeah, man, and that's like one reason why I played Live Block, that little indie, that over the top twin stick shooter, is because, you know, I put a few games down this year. You know, like I'm up to like 20 something games beat. So, you know, and going through all those single player experiences, it kind of gets dull at some point, and you want something that's just completely different. And these are all, you know, like AAA titles. You know,
Right.
You kind of want something different once you've gone through that many games. But, you know, I digress. We're gonna move on. Next topic.
But see, I like AAA games. I love AAA games. I can't stand indies. So that's my
they
problem.
change it up, man. They change it up. They give you something different. You know, that's all. I mean, they kind of help you. Like if you're in a slump, you play like an indie that's just different, and it kind of gets you out of it, and you move on to the next AAA. You know, that's
guys,
how I use it.
I can see what you're saying. Like when it comes to like I've been joining Snaps on a bunch of her streams, and like we've been playing, like there's a game called Jump Stars. What was that game by Ready at Dawn that they just came out with? Begins with a D. I freaking forgot that.
Deformers.
Deformers. Surgeon Simulator, which is fun as hell if you do it multiplayer, because one person is controlling the left hand, the other person's controlling the right hand. And
Cool.
that shit is so much fun. So yeah, it is good to mix it up, man. I don't know. There are a lot of games out there already, you know. And like I said, it just seems like, especially if these developers, because they know information more than we do. Even a lot of the small time developers, they go to the conferences and stuff like that. So I can almost guarantee you, a bunch of these developers, like they knew for a while now, State of Decay 2 is going to be releasing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they want to get their game out in a hurry. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have the same budget that, you know, this State of Decay devs had and stuff like that. So I just want to warn people to be kind of careful. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the summer months, because you will get devs trying to push their game out, even sometimes like half-assing it just to get it out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they're interesting like premises, but it's not like they're just trying to be the first one out there with that before like the bigger guys come out there with that, you know?
Yeah, well, that's why you got me and Baines, you know, so we can try out their games and see if they're shitty or not, you know?
Yo, Baines, did you download Disc Jam for PS4?
I did. I hadn't played a match yet, though.
Oh, dude, we gotta play each other,
Yeah, we can do that, man. We can do that.
Yo, that game is so much fun, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've heard it's really fun. So yeah, we can definitely do that, man.
I want to play two, guys. I want to play two.
Did you download it?
Screw you, Optimus. Get back in your fucking corner.
All right. Hot topic. A hot topic of this week. A Sony exec. I forget his name. He came out and started, you know, mouthing off about backwards compatibility, stating that he don't see how people would want to play that old stuff.
But
I just want to get you guys' thoughts on that. You know,
hold on. When he said that, he was talking about PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, by the way.
Yeah, no, but my whole thing is, if I bought it, I should be able to play it wherever. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how old it is. And that's my thing. That's how short-sighted that is to me. But, you know, what do you got? And another thing with PlayStation, I just, that gets on my nerves is that, okay, you'll sit here and talk about backwards compatibility not being viable, but then you want to sell me something like PlayStation Now, which is comprised of mostly PS3 games. And then they're going to add PS2 games and later games later. So, I mean, so what are you really saying? All you're telling me is that you don't want to put in the work to have it natively done on the system. You just want to sell me something extra so you can get that money. That's all it's telling me, you know?
Well, here's the thing. The PlayStation 3 games wouldn't probably be able to run on the PS4 because of the fact that it had cell architecture. Everybody knows that cell architecture was something out of this world that nobody even ever seen or touched before. But I agree with you on the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games. They should have, been able to have those backwards compatible because, I mean, those games are, a lot of, like, the PlayStation 2 had so many games that I think that there's a lot of people out there that haven't played them that would actually like playing them. Of course, nostalgia is hell of a drug, shout out to our boy Mooch over there. He's, that saying is absolutely right because people will play those games for like a week and then drop them, except for maybe something like Call of Duty or something like that, because Call of Duty is just, it's such a popular franchise, unlike games like Bully or something like that. Even though Rockstar is such a huge company, games like Bully get kind of pushed to the side because, it's not
they get
really...
bullied.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, okay. Basically.
Yeah, honestly, my thoughts on the whole article and like back compat and stuff is just, to me, like, whether people use it a ton or not, people asked for it and it was given to us, and that's a good thing. It's a fan service, if nothing else. I don't play many back compat games, but hey, I was on Black Ops 2 yesterday with Optimus and Killer Scorpion, so I used it at least, and I think it's a good thing. And the fact that I feel like backwards compatible, like this whole thing it's just gonna become the norm because we have this whole 360 back compat games on Xbox One right now, and it's like this thing. But now you have the Xbox One S. Technically, those games are backwards compatible from the Xbox One, right? You have the Scorpio coming out. Technically, those games are backwards compatible to the Scorpio, but it's just going to be a smooth transition instead of this big thing because it's there from the beginning, and that's just the expectation for all future consoles, that your games will keep going on because that's how it is on PC,
Yeah. What you think, Bob?
I was letting everything go through. Yo, first of all, before I go off here, I just want to let people know, if you like backwards compatibility, that's great. If you like playing your 360 games, freaking awesome. It is an option. If you want to do that, go ahead and do that. Microsoft and Xbox, they did what they had to do for you guys, and it's awesome because now you have options. Me, myself, I'm moving forward, guys. I don't really want to go back and play 360 games. They had a few of my favorite titles go back compat, like the first Forza Horizon. I went in and I played it for maybe 20 minutes, and I was like, oh, what the fuck am I doing? I got Forza Horizon 3. You know what I'm saying? And that's me. That's me. Now, when it comes to this article, the guy wasn't talking about Xbox, all right? I've seen a lot of people in social media, start flipping out and stuff like that. He was talking about PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games. Mm-hmm. Now, Baines has a point. He's like, well, why are they talking about this when they're trying to sell PlayStation Now? See, the thing is, these companies are trying to go streaming, right? Mm-hmm. So Sony decided to go first, and what was the bigger library that they had? It was the previous generation. So they started putting the PS3 games in for PlayStation Now. Now, they talk with a forked tongue, definitely, because they say, well, why would you want to play games from last generation? And then they sell a subscription service to do that exact fucking thing. But eventually, what you're going to have with PlayStation Now is you'll have those games if you want them. They'll be there. But you're going to have your PlayStation 4 games there, all right? And then you're not necessarily going to have to buy the hardware because to these companies, to Sony, to Xbox, the hardware does not make the money. It's selling the software and it's selling the services. So now you're going to have people who have TVs who are just going to buy into PlayStation Now and play PS4 games. It was the very beginning of a streaming-only gaming situation. All right, and that's what they're going to do, and Sony's going to try to evolve PlayStation Now. They're They're going to put newer games in there. The same with Xbox. I mean, Xbox right now, I know they have Game Pass, and you have to download those games for them in order to play. But that's not going to happen in the future. You look a few years down the line, they're going to try to go streaming as well. And this is what they want us as gamers to invest in. All right. So if you don't like it, if you don't like that whole streaming aspect and stuff, then guess what, guys? Don't invest in Game Pass. Don't invest in PlayStation Now, because that's just telling them that they can move that next step forward and get us to where they want to get us, which is cut out the hardware and sell us the services and the software.
But see, Game Pass is completely different though, because you're downloading the game. And as far as streaming,
it's still a service-based.
I understand that part of it. But as far as streaming games, we are not even close to being able to do that with the bandwidth we have available. I mean, I have good up and down speed right now, and I still have major lag with these games. So we are far away from that.
Microsoft has something called Project DeLorean that they have been working on for a few years now, and they are willing to give this technology to internet service providers, right? And it promises even high-speed internet off of copper wiring. All right. It is a new type of technology that will really, really benefit when it comes to streaming games and stuff. Well, I think like streaming games ever be perfect? No, it won't. But guess what? These guys are corporations. They don't give a shit if it's perfect. If it's good enough, they're going to put it out there. All right. Now with Xbox, they did a baby step, and they did something that, I will kind of applaud them for, because with Game Pass, you download the games. That's beautiful. But that's not to say that in the future, once their consumer base for Game Pass gets big enough or anything like that, that they won't announce, well, now we're going to do it streaming, and they're going to try to promote it to you like it's so much easier and stuff like that. You don't have to wait for your download for your new game or something like that. This is where they want to go. All right. This is where both companies want to go. And these are the first steps to them getting there. Like, I think Game Pass is cool. I think it's a little 360 heavy. I really think there's a lot of 360 titles, but then they have like the Halo 5 in there, the Sunset Overdrive, even Scream Ride, because I thought Scream Ride was a really expensive title when it came out. I didn't think it was worth the money, but I thought it was cool. But I'm not gonna like turn a blind eye towards what these companies are trying to do.
Yeah,
and that's what they're trying to do.
I understand, and I could see where you could say that for way down in the future. But for even if they're trying to sell me a service and I can't get the gameplay that I'm used to, then I'm not going to buy it. Just like I didn't buy PlayStation Now. And I think that's the biggest issue with PlayStation Now. It's not being successful because of the issues with streaming games.
Baines, check this out. Were you one of the people that was pissed off when Xbox said always online?
No.
All right. There was a lot of them out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then why are the top selling games that are always online? You see what I'm saying? Like they will catch you one way or another.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If it ever does go that route, I'd rather just play on a PC, man, to be honest, at that point.
And that's where they'll push most of the gamers, which will hurt them. Well, it won't hurt Microsoft.
It won't hurt Microsoft.
It'll definitely hurt, PlayStation. Which I just don't see that.
Yeah, one of the things is the reason that PlayStation. Real quick, Adamus, though, like to Bane's point, PlayStation Now also isn't as successful because it's mostly PS3 games right now. If you have if every brand new game comes to PlayStation Now, then it's going to be a lot more successful. People are going to pay the $20 subscription instead. If that ever happens,
it's way more than $20 though for PlayStation Now. It's expensive.
$20 a month.
Shit, dude. Yeah, well, that's expensive, dude, for a lot of people. There's no way. There's a lot of people out there who can't afford that, dude.
Yeah.
There's just way too many people out there
exactly.
that can't afford that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of those games I would like to play. Like me, for backwards compatibility, it's been pretty decent, especially this year. I just ran through Dead Space 1 through 3. Great series. I wouldn't have been able to do that without backwards compatibility. Because I missed
on the other hand, though, for price, if it was $20 a month and every new game came to PlayStation Now, that might be a better deal than actually buying all the games you want, because you're getting all the games for a $20 a month
They still have to take care of the experience portion of it, because with lag, you're not.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean,
experience.
PlayStation now is.
But
especially when you're talking
far from
about,
that point,
that's
but I'm
when you're
saying
talking
they're
about
taking a step.
But
You know,
that's
where
why
they're going. That's what
why
I'm saying.
that's why I would go towards PC at that point, because at least then I can download my games. I don't have to have the streaming lag and all that crap. You know, I'd rather just do it that way instead of streaming it, instead of doing all that bullshit, because, you know, we all hate lag. I don't care anybody out there that says, oh, lag doesn't bother me. You fucking hate it. When you're playing Call of Duty or you're playing something else, you hate that shit. And, you know, for this, like, if they actually do it to the point to where there's minimal lag, there's still going to be people who are going to complain about that. There's still going to be people out there who are going to switch over to like PC or something like that. And, you know, it could be a good thing, but I don't know, man. That
Guys,
is just one of those subjects that is just touchy to me.
Guys, you guys make really good points here, but here's the thing: you guys are talking like hardcore gamers, which is awesome. I mean, that's what I am. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell the rest of the panel, hardcore gamers. But when you talk about the bigger consumer base out there, it is the casual gamer. And if there is a subscription-based service that will give you all the new games as well, talking about PlayStation Now, a lot of the casuals don't even know about lag. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that is the bigger consumer base. And let's be honest here, when it comes to a corporation, you want to grab that bigger consumer base. And I think they would actually be able to do so because the casuals don't necessarily look into lag and stuff like that. They'll just see the subscription. They'll see $20 a month and you get all the newest shit. And this is where, you know, they're trying to get to. I'm not saying they're there yet. All right. Which is, it's cool. They're not there yet, but this is where they're trying to go. And you're going to see certain benefits. You're going to see them take steps going closer. And I know, you know, people are saying, well, that's years down the line. What are we talking? Maybe 4 years, 5 years? Because it's not like 10 to 15 years. It's coming a lot quicker than people think.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think it's farther off than that.
I'm saying what you're saying here, man.
I think it's farther off than that when you're talking about getting to a consumer base with enough bandwidth in order to handle the games. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm talking about in time, because a lot of people just don't. I mean, there's a lot of people that are still using dial-up. So, you know, we'll just have to see what happens. Any other thoughts on backwards compatibility?
No.
All right. Next up on the list is Vampire. It's Vampire.
I think you still say it, Vampire.
It's Vampire.
Yeah, it's still Vampire.
I know.
I like saying Vampire though.
Yeah,
like, I'm like Vampire.
All right. This game
looks good.
Yeah,
it looks
really
really good.
It came out. We heard about it a while ago, and now we're getting more information. It's supposed to come out later on, toward the end of the year. We definitely
heard it last E3.
Yeah. So it includes like a Dr. Jonathan Reed, a famous surgeon. He gets turned into a vampire. Then he has to go through and, you know, he has to choose whether or not to, you know, feed himself from good or bad people. I mean, you know, whatever. And it changes the dynamic of the game based upon how he does that as he goes through. So what do you guys think about the game?
Well, I'm super pumped because it's made by Don't Nod, who made Life is Strange, and that game is absolutely fantastic. I love that game.
You
probably one of my. It's probably one of my favorites of this generation. It's just an absolute, you know, hidden gem. If you haven't played it yet, you should definitely play Life is Strange. I know it's an indie game, and I know how I don't like indie games, but people, you know, somebody told me you have to play this game, dude, because they know I like the Telltale games, and I played that, and I freaking loved it. So I'm glad to see them creating more games, and I know that this game is going into a different direction, completely different direction than Life is Strange, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. with this game because we've never seen a really good vampire game except for maybe Blood Rain, which was back on the original Xbox, and I think they had an indie title on the 360. But other than that, we haven't seen a really good lurking in the shadows. And this guy's a doctor, so he's not going to be going after innocent people. He's basically going after.
Well, you have the choice.
Yeah,
You have the choice. Right. You have the choice. But for me, I'm not going after the innocent, man. I'm going after those criminals, bro.
Yeah.
Aww.
Which gets right into like
Poor criminal.
what I love about this game. The setting is cool, but man, I think like the morality choices in the game are going to be really awesome. Feed on innocence, feed on bad people. I think you can even make a choice to try to not feed, but you're going to be weaker if you don't feed.
Yeah.
And this game is very ambitious. If you feed on this person, it can affect this other person because they're like a son or something, and it could have unknown consequences, which really excites me. And so that's all I can say is like I want to see more on this game. I'm really pumped for it, and can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, it's due out. They said it's due out sometime soon. They're saying November 2017. It's not a
Yeah, they said
date.
November. I don't know about well, honestly, I'll pick it up if it's a November day. I don't know how that'll do well for them. How well it'll do it with the masses though, with a November date.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it get pushed back.
I'm excited.
What you think, Bot?
It's one of those games that honestly could be one of the diamonds in the rough when we're talking about all these games that are coming out and people are excited for Absolver, and I know those games are like coming out earlier, and this one's coming out in November, but it's from a team that isn't known for making a game like this. And then if you watch the gameplay, I watched about 17 minutes of gameplay, and what they did first of all with the graphics, like the moonlit streets and everything look absolutely phenomenal. The lighting system, I don't know what lighting system they're using there, but they do a great job with lighting. You could tell the difference. So you can see like the light casting from a lantern as opposed to the moonlight or a light that's higher up, kind of like a street lamp type thing. And you can see the difference between all the different lighting, which is awesome. It's something I look at in terms of graphics. The story and being able to choose like who you feed on, or like Remix said, if you feed at all, the story is intriguing. This kind of reminds me, I know in the 360 era, my favorite game was Castlevania Lords of Shadow. It was my absolute favorite game. I don't know how many times I went back and played through that. The first time I played that, having the twist at the end was incredible. And I know Castlevania Lords of Shadow isn't technically a vampire game, but I got the same feeling watching this gameplay. The special moves look absolutely sick, and I think that's where you would probably be weaker if you don't feed. You probably won't get as many special moves, and the special moves, they look nasty. Like there was like a black shadow that came up underneath somebody, fucking impaled him through the torso. Like, yo, it was insane. Teleporting up into higher areas and the way they do it with kind of like that black smoke and stuff like it just looks like a well-made game that could have definitely an interesting story, because you were talking to this lady in the beginning of the gameplay. I forget her name, but she seems to be like the one that turned you into a vampire, and yet you're talking to her like she's your friend. Like it's interesting. There's bits and pieces within the story that it definitely sparked my interest. It looks like a game that it's definitely on my radar, and if it's in November, I actually have time to think about putting it into my gaming budget.
Yeah, it's another one of those story games we're talking about too.
Yeah, and I think it has some good replayability to it, because I might have to play it a couple times through purely for the reason because I would kind of want to be like the morally right person in a playthrough, like feed only on bad people and stuff like that. But then I kind of also want to play it just fucking eating everybody, I just want to feed on everybody and just kill everybody and be a badass. So
yeah, man. It sounds like it is going to be a diamond in the rough. It's definitely something to look forward to. Any
Well,
other
it's like
thoughts?
Life is Strange, you know. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Life is strange. A diamond in the rough. Any other thoughts on Vampire?
Vampire. Every time the funny thing is, every time I read it, I do read it like vampire instead of vampire. But
hey, you gotta say it with your chest, Vampire.
You guys,
vampire.
You guys are making me sad.
All right. All right, moving on. We're gonna cover this one real quick because we are another travesty that came of Andromeda, but we come to find out that the dev cycle on this game was like 18 months or so. They had a bunch of issues. People were unhappy. People were overworked. They were moving people from the studio that was actually creating the game, I think from Montreal, back to the main studio to work on the other big games. They were just having a whole lot of problems. You guys get to look at the article, and what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like this game was rushed out a little bit. I think
little bit?
something. It was made in like 18 months. It was announced in 2015, you know, and it seems like they still didn't have the concept of what they wanted to do because they were thinking of doing a randomly generated world, almost No Man's Sky-ish, and then they went into actually like creating the worlds or whatever, and so definitely rushed out. This game should have been delayed. I think it had already been delayed at least once before, but should have been delayed, just pushed back, and you know, it could have been much improved, I guess. So
yeah,
honestly, they should have pushed it until next year. This game would have been probably my top game of the year if I didn't drop it like a freaking brick when it came out, basically. I played it for maybe like 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm done with it. I can't play this anymore. It's just, I can't stand it. Like, it's a good game. It is what it is. But it's not a great game. I was expecting something great from this, and I got disappointed. And they rushed it, like Remix said, and they didn't take their time. And I don't blame BioWare for it. I blame EA for that. Because they wanted to push this out and get this out, you know, for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they wanted it out, and it's just a disappointment to all of us, to all gamers, and to the industry itself.
Yeah. What you got, Bob?
What do I got? Yo, fucking burn them. Yo. Oh my goodness, this game should have been delayed. No doubt. Yo, how are you gonna put out a game that you only put like really 18 months into the final product because you're hemming and hawing? Oh, we want generated planets, and oh man, we're working on this facial animation, but damn, this Frostbite engine just isn't working for us. You know what? Fuck that, yo. Delay the game. Like, you have a huge fan base when it comes to Mass Effect. How the hell are you gonna treat them like that, yo? That is complete bullshit. They killed their own franchise, is what they did. They're not even working on a sequel right now. Why? Because they themselves fucked it up. All right.
Yeah.
They're the only ones responsible. And people should really hit them up on Twitter and everything again. Now that the article came out and it shows exactly what they were doing, they were like halfway walking around with a thumb up their ass, trying to figure out how to do stuff. And if you have a vision, go ahead and do it. All right. If even if you have to go and build it on a different engine or something like that, I think the audience is dedicated enough. All right, for you to do that for them. Let them know, hey guys, we fucked up. This is what we were planning on. This Frostbite engine just isn't working with us for that. We want to give you guys a quality title. Unfortunately, it's going to be back to the drawing board. All right. I think the Mass Effect fan base deserves that. You know what I'm saying? That franchise came out of nowhere and had successful sequel after sequel, and to see them just treat everybody like that it's bullshit, yo. There is no way a publisher and a developer should treat their consumers that way. and it's sickening, to be very honest with you, man.
Yeah,
Biggest
it
thing
really
is,
is.
they revealed this thing in 2015, and they obviously didn't even really have a basis for what they were doing, because that 18th month period didn't start till a few months after they would have revealed it, because it came out this year. So that's the biggest thing. How do you reveal something that you don't even have a prominent idea for what it's gonna be? Like, that's like crazy.
They fucked over their complete fan base with this, and they need to be held responsible.
They definitely killed me on this one. I mean, I enjoyed the game. I put about 80-something hours in it. It was actually pretty decent, but I mean, it did have issues. I'd admit that. And I'm kind of like I'm kind of sad that they're killing this franchise when it was really a great franchise, So hopefully, they'll do us a fan service type deal, and a few years from now, we'll hear about something about the next part of Andromeda, because it was supposed to be a 3-part series in itself. But we'll see what happens. Any other thoughts on Mass Effect?
Yeah, I feel for my boy Jamie on Twitter. For people who follow Jamie,
yeah, boy, he's really, really a hardcore Mass Effect fan. So I know.
Dude, and there's so many of them out there. I don't know how many times just walking into a random GameStop, and this was like going last generation with the 360 and stuff. I'll be looking at the wall of games and stuff. I don't know how many times somebody came up, oh, yo, you got to get Mass Effect. You got to get Mass Effect too. Oh, you got to get Mass Effect. And I'm like, really? They have a huge audience, and they just they killed it. I have no remorse. I have they're just I can't even say how bad they did with this game. And like I said, they need to be held responsible. People need to let them know exactly how much that sucked. All right. I don't know, man. Give them their money back. Fuck it, yo.
Give us something. Give us some DLC or something. Give us some type of little nugget here. Something, please.
Dude, that pisses me off as much as like Drive Club on the PS4 when they announced that, and all the bullshit that people went through. But at least that was a brand new IP. All right, it didn't have a dedicated fan base yet. Fucking Mass Effect has a huge fan base, and they're like, yeah, well, we'll throw something together in like a year and a half, no problem. Fuck.
Wow. Yeah, hopefully we'll get something, but we're gonna go ahead and move on. Little Nightmares. Indie made a pretty decent smash. It's actually coming out with DLC. It's gonna have 3 parts. It's called The Secrets of Maw. There's gonna be a chapter. I think the first chapter is entitled The Depths. Chapter 2 is a machine theme section called The Hideaway, and then chapter 3 is supposed to be some type of secret. So what do you guys think about that? That's pretty cool that Little Nightmares is getting DLC.
That means the game did really well, and I'm excited to play the actual game itself. I haven't played it yet. I know Remix has got it with Game Share, so I'll probably be checking that out soon. Yeah,
I still have to finish it actually, but I just kind of fell out of it for a minute. But it's a good little game. I don't know if it was worth $20 because I know it's a pretty short game. But yeah, good little game. Glad it's getting a DLC. That's cool. It should be pretty interesting. That first one, it's going to take place in the sewers, which is going to be creepy. But I think you're a new character in this, it seems. The guy named Maw, or the Maw is the name of the ship, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, so it should be interesting. Obviously the January one, that's going to be like, do you escape or not type of deal. And so it should be interesting. $10 for the DLC. Doesn't seem too shabby, because honestly, the DLC seems like it's going to be as long as the game, just a little bit more spaced out, so.
What you think, Optimus? Optimus Bot, which I got.
I already told you.
Say it with your chest, then, because I didn't hear it.
You said it with your passive voice, man. I don't know.
Well, I didn't want to get too loud.
I've seen my friend Noble Addiction stream it on his YouTube channel, and he absolutely loves the game, and it looks like a cool game. I didn't pick it up, but it looks like it's got like that dark humor in it and stuff like that. It looks cool. So for the dev team to, you know, support it more with DLC down the line. And I believe what you said, the DLC is like $10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not bad at all. Depending on how much time, you know, it takes to beat it or whatnot. But it seems like this title actually, it does have like a cult following. There are people who absolutely love this game, keep playing it over and over again, which is cool. That's, I mean, every franchise starts somewhere, and if this turns into something bigger, it's really, really cool for the developers, and it's awesome to be able to sit back and actually watch like a game get popular and a game grow, a game, you know, get demanded for sequels and become a franchise. And if this keeps going the way it's going, I can see a sequel down the line and possibly just getting even more gamers into it. So that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts on Little Nightmares?
Nah.
All right, well, putting my hands together like Baby in that GIF, if y'all know what I'm talking about, it's time for that E3 discussion.
Oh, shit.
All right. Now, we're going to start off with PlayStation. What do you guys expect? What do you guys want? What do you guys need? PlayStation.
For me, I need
Spider-Man.
no, I need
Spider-Man.
Days Gone. I need
Spider-Man.
Days Gone. I need The Last of Us. I'm sure we're gonna see Spider-Man. I'm not big on Spider-Man. I know that's a blasphemous thing in this panel right now, but
You're dead
you
to
know.
me.
Well, my biggest thing for
I'm sure we're
Spider-Man
gonna see-
that's made by Insomniac.
Hold on,
So I'm
hold
really
on,
interested
dude.
in the
Hold on, dude.
movement
Hold
system
on.
that's gonna have. You know.
Oh my god. Will you hold on? Okay. I'm not even finished. You know, I want to see them come out with some new IPs. You know, I want to see something new, maybe something from first party. I mean, I know they don't have very many first party studios. I know most of their studios are basically second party because it comes out of Japan, a lot of them. But hopefully, maybe we'll see something from. You know, I don't think we'll probably see some DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn. We're definitely gonna see that Uncharted DLC again. And we'll probably get an absolute confirmation on the release date of some of these games. I think we'll definitely see God of War. You know, God of War. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a release date for that. I don't know yet. We'll see. It's going to be up in the air for PlayStation because I think, you know, they already showed us a lot of these games already, and I don't know if they're going to have enough IPs to show us coming into this year's E3.
You'll just make some up. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I
well,
mean,
you know.
you're absolutely right on that one. They'll just throw us a freaking bone and show us something that we haven't seen or whatever.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
hoping for some release dates on some of those games, like Days Gone, Spider-Man, stuff like that. And besides that, though, you know, I feel like PlayStation has shown us kind of a lot of what they're gonna have. We just don't have dates on it, and those games could be anywhere from this year to a year or two from now. So that's mainly the thing. And yeah, so you know, I'm interested in PlayStation, but I don't know. I want them to surprise me because I don't know what they're gonna bring to surprise me. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll have like one or two new IPs. I think From Software is supposed to bring something, and then you know you have Sucker Punch out there. But I'm definitely looking forward to God of War, Days Gone, and Spider-Man. Detroit seems kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested in Detroit too.
Yeah, it's got kind of like that Until Dawn, Heavy Rain type feel to it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm hoping they have releases for these games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll
Set
get.
release dates.
I'm pretty sure for the major three, you'll
I
get
know, right?
release dates. You'll probably get release dates for God of War, Days Gone, Spider-Man. I don't know about the rest of them. I'm pretty sure they'll, out of those three, at least one will probably hit this year. But other than that, I don't think you're going to get release dates for any of the other ones. But that's their main thing. If they hit, they're really just going to I think they're going to rehash the same show, except, you know, the big surprise this year will be putting actual dates on the games. And then, like I say, you'll probably get 1 or 2 new IP, and then you'll get a bunch of gameplay, of course, of the games that you've seen. And then they'll probably end with something big from The Last of Us 2. That's just par for the course, I think. You also have to remember with PlayStation, they have a dedicated event at the end of the year. They're gonna have to, you know, have some content to show there too. So we'll just have to see. Do you guys think that they're gonna drop one of those big 3 games this year? Or
I am kind of thinking 2. All right, but the funny thing is, let me just give you like my overall kind of like prediction when it comes to Sony. Now, you guys know I am king neutral. All right, I play.
Oh yeah, I put that in the description.
Shut your mouth.
I did
on PS4. I play on a Nintendo Switch. We have a Wii U in the house. All that good stuff. So, just because I am king neutral doesn't mean I am not gonna call out bullshit. All right, and when it comes to Sony and their conferences, a lot of times it is a huge load of bullshit. All right. I don't know where like these fanboys are coming out. They're like, oh, God of War, Days Gone. Like people are even saying like Last of Us 2 and stuff. They're like, oh, they're all guaranteed to come out this year. Like the last time I saw last year's E3, they just said in development. They are very shady about putting out release dates. But then when they do, 90% of the time, their exclusives are delayed anyway. I am really excited for the conference. All right. I am excited that Insomniac is making a Spider-Man. So we'll most likely finally get, a quality developer making a quality Spider-Man game. I am pumped for that. I'm hoping it releases this year because of the movie. Days Gone, I have a feeling Days Gone is very close to finish. I think that's going to come out this year. God of War really interests me because I believe the lead developer is trying to state that the game, he's been trying to state the game is playable from beginning to end, and they're really trying to get it out this year. And like he's been absolutely adamant, like on Twitter about this, and I'm not so sure about that. But when it's all said and done, like even though we have 2 PS4s in the house, like I can't get excited for these games until they're actually on the shelf. Like they can say release dates and everything like that, and I still got to hold my excitement back just for the fact that throughout this entire generation, the huge majority of their exclusive titles have been delayed at least once, and a bunch of them multiple times. All right, so we got to look at it realistically here. They can say a whole bunch of stuff, and you really have no clue when it's coming out. Not only that, they like to announce stuff really, really early in development. So, I mean, they can talk about PS5 launch games and just keep people on a string until the PS5 comes out in a couple years. You know what I'm saying? They can do that just to, hype up the crowd, hype up their fans, and then just leave them waiting for a long ass time. So I'm hoping Spider-Man comes out. I'm thinking Days Gone comes out. I'm not too sure about God of War. I think they will tease, Last of Us 2 probably at the end of their show. I'll predict maybe even a bigger orchestra than last year. But other than that, I don't know.
VR?
I don't know.
VR anybody?
Yeah, there's going to be VR games. There has
they'll probably have a scissor reel or something like that.
Yeah, they'll have something for VR.
Go ahead, Remix.
No, I wasn't saying anything.
No, that was actually me. One more thing that Snaps brought up to me, and I think is very kind of like plausible when it comes to PlayStation. Maybe a price cut for their VR. They might not show VR, but they might say at some point in time on the stage, they might price cut the PlayStation VR headset, which would actually be a great idea because I think the price point is one of the things that kind of held people back from picking that thing up.
Why do you think they're gonna price cut it when there's none in the store? There's none. I haven't seen any in the store. I go to a store and there's none there. Like, there's no way they're gonna price cut that.
No
way.
Not for that.
What stores you going to, man?
Best Buy, GameStop, dude, none of them.
All right, well, when the store only gets shipped like 2 of them, then yeah, you know.
Hey, maybe everybody will get 2 more after the price cut. Who knows?
Yeah,
You
I think, like I said, the biggest thing with them this time will be dates, and they do have a lot of delays, and we don't have dates for their games. But I mean, to be fair, we don't have dates for any Microsoft games either.
Yeah,
you know, so I mean, that's just keeping things on an even keel.
Well, but they do have a better, I guess you could say, reputation this generation for when they do say a release date. If you do the math, like you can literally do the math, and like I said, 90% of Sony's exclusives this generation have been delayed at least once. Like the Xbox, in terms of exclusives being delayed, that percentage is a lot lower. All right, so I mean it kind of, I don't know, it boggles my mind to think that when I'm like, well, isn't that a weird trend that we should be talking about more? And people are like, oh no, delays are good and stuff. Like, I understand delays are good in certain instances. The Mass Effect, that would have been a certain instance. All right, delay the game, do what you got to do with it. But when 90% of your exclusives like are being delayed like that is a trend, and it's a bad trend. And it's something that I think people really need to talk about more, and not kind of like brush it off to the side and just say, delays are a good thing if it makes the game better. It's like, well, then, why are they saying this release date anyway then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably why Microsoft has gotten away from release dates, because they don't want to have to say we're delaying the game.
Mm-hmm.
But, one thing you could, another, thing that you could say for PlayStation, they may delay it, but the game eventually comes out. I don't know how many cancellations they've had this generation as of yet. So, I mean, both companies,
any.
Yeah, both, and that's the thing. Both companies have their, their things about them, but I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we'll get some dates this time around. We'll just have to see. Anything else y'all looking forward to from PlayStation?
They need to bring that silver. They need to bring that silver PS4 Slim to the United States.
I was reading something else.
We said our piece with PlayStation. We're done with it.
Okay, well, one more thing. You'll probably get a drop on the Pro in response to the Scorpio, which I'll segue into Xbox. What do you guys want, need, or expect from Microsoft?
Again, release dates, definitely want to see that Scorpio. And then when I'm actually like there itself, I want to play some games on the Scorpio on the show floor. And they're supposed to have a few things in the works. I didn't check out any of the leaks or anything because I want to be surprised. So I'm real excited to see what new they might have, or if they have a sequel to something that we want. And of course, Crackdown, man. I'm excited for Crackdown. See what that thing can do. All the destruction the game will have, and Sea of Thieves. I hope we get a date for Sea of Thieves. I personally think it will be a spring release title. I think that's what it should be anyway. And so I want to see some not only have a date for that, but see some different gameplay, because a lot of the gameplay has been ship combat up until this point, unless you've been in the beta, but I have not been in the beta yet, unfortunately. So
They just don't like you.
I've been there since like the first
honestly,
day.
I don't think they do. But
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh.
Well, I was going to just piggyback off of something real quick. It was Crackdown 3. I don't think people are giving that enough respect in my.
They will
opinion.
after Sunday.
That's what I'm saying, because this game, and I'm not talking about the single player portion, but I'm talking about the multiplayer portion. It can really be evolutionary for gaming, and people are not giving it, in my opinion, people are not giving it the proper respect. You're talking about fully destructible cities. You're talking about being able to pick up debris and use that as a weapon. We've had games where there has been destruction within the game, but that was pre-programmed in. The same things were going to be destroyed each time. Like And that's why like a building in Battlefield 1 to go down, but then you'll throw a grenade against the wall and it will never fall because they don't have the computing power for all of it to be able to be destroyed. And Crackdown 3 will be able to do this using the cloud. That could be a really big deal for gaming. I just don't think people are looking at. They're just thinking about the single player, like, oh, Crackdown 3, who wants to play that? But
I think it's also the name.
Yeah, like the multiplayer can really be something that will push gaming in a different direction. I don't think people are giving it its just due. You know.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think not only problem with Crackdown, real quick, but is that like people see the name Crackdown and Crackdown 3, and it's like, it's a Crackdown. Like me, I never heard of Crackdown really until Crackdown 3, but so they're not necessarily being objective with what this game could be. And, you know, we always say, you know, which title's gonna, or which game in a franchise will blow it up. And Crackdown 3 could be the title to blow up the Crackdown franchise if it executes what it's supposed to and people enjoy that kind of gameplay, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I will let you know, Xbox is, they have a lot of chips in on this title. Not only is it brand new technology with the multiplayer, they had to go back in and kind of like fine tune the single player again, which is why, you know, it got delayed. But they're planning on supporting this game GTA style. And if you see, you know, GTA Online today, they're talking about the gun runner expansion to it, and they keep expanding to GTA, and that's basically what Xbox is thinking when it comes to this title. So not only are you getting like revolutionary technology in the multiplayer, but it is going to be supported for a long time. The developers like within that are around Microsoft, not just first party, but kind of like the third party that is close to Microsoft, they have been saying nothing but good things about what they've seen from Crackdown. They're saying the game looks absolutely gorgeous, and it plays as good as it looks. And I have a feeling you're right, Baines. For some reason or another, people are just like, Crackdown, and they're not giving it, you know, they're not giving it any kind of respect. But I feel like after Sunday, when Microsoft goes all in and you see the multiplayer, you see the single player, you see the destruction, you see it all running off of Scorpio, people are going to be like, holy shit. And I think it's going to generate a lot of hype for that game. I have been hyped for that game ever since they announced it, though. I'm a Crackdown fan. The first one was made by the creator of Grand Theft Auto. So that caught my interest right then and there. I had a blast playing the multiplayer in Crackdown 2. I had a blast with my son playing that, and I know a lot of people didn't like the zombie type creatures that came out at night or whatnot, but it was a lot of fun to play. And now getting a Crackdown for this generation and these systems and the power that they have behind them, dude, I can't wait for this game to come out, yo. And it's coming out this year, guys. There is no delay, nothing. It is coming out this year.
I believe it.
It's basically done already.
Another thing is too, just think if this works, if they pull this off and this works, just think of what they could do with other games using the cloud, you know? So we'll just have to see what happens. But like I said, Xbox, you agree, people are missing the boat with this game. They really are.
And see, when I talked about like the third parties that were kind of like talking behind the scenes about Crackdown, Microsoft is like, you know, within the development community, they are kind of touting the cloud with Crackdown. They're showing what, you know, these developers did with the cloud in terms of the destruction and stuff like that. And, you know, that causes developers to talk. You know, whatever industry you work in or something like that, you seem to be put in a community that is related to that, you know? So you have developers that talk to other developers and stuff. And within the development community, Crackdown is basically the game to watch for at E3 this year. So,
yeah. All right.
Now,
what else?
I kind of want to touch on Sea of Thieves. I don't. Yeah, we're gonna see a delay I don't think it's going to come out this year. I don't think it's coming out next year. The game is in alpha still, man. There's from what I played when I played it, it was just like there's no way. They got so much stuff that they need to put in that game that like I don't even play it. Like I won't play it when they send me an email saying, "Oh yeah, you can play Sea of Thieves this weekend." I don't play it because I want more adventure, you know. I want to. I mean, from what I played of it, it was fun with my friends and everything like that. But as soon as like I was like, okay, I'm not gonna play anymore because I think later on when it gets to that point when it's almost done, I'm gonna love it after that. You know, as soon as it's done, I'm gonna love it because they're gonna add all that other stuff. They're gonna put everything in there that they can. And I'm sure we're gonna see something for Sea of Thieves. We'll probably see maybe like little trailer of what they added. We'll probably see. We're definitely gonna see Crackdown 3. I agree with you guys. I mean, I wasn't really big on Crackdown 2. I liked Crackdown 3. I mean Crackdown 1, but I'm kind of on the fence with Crackdown because I'm unsure of what kind of thing is going to bring to, you know, the cloud computing. You know,
you're killing me, Dark. You're killing me this episode, man. I swear.
I'm just a little worried, you know, that it might be too ambitious to the point where it won't actually work the way we want it to, or the way that they're touting it. They
already showed.
I understand that
last year working like that.
I understand that, but that was last year. We're in a new year, so we don't know what we see. You know, we don't know what we're going to see until Sunday, and you know, I'm still a little skeptic about it. I'm still,
Baines, is he questioning what I'm saying about the game, Baines?
I'm questioning you because I want to see on Sunday what we're going to get. Because if we get something, I'm going to hit you up and I'm going to be like, I fucking just ate crow, bro. So, I'm gonna be a man about it. I'm gonna say, hey, my bad. I shouldn't have questioned you. Let's move on. Let's do our thing. You know, shit like that. But Crackdown 3 is, you know, it's gonna get a lot of hype around it. It's probably gonna be the best, you know, game to kind of show off what Scorpio is going to be able to do, you know, with the cloud computing.
Oh, no. The best game to show off graphically what the Scorpio is going to do.
No, I'm not talking about graphically. I'm talking about performance-wise. I'm talking about
Motorsport 7 as well.
Well,
even performance-wise.
Yeah, that's true. You know,
Dude, Turn 10 is absolute geniuses. Look at the power that they extracted from the Xbox One to date. All right, when you look at Forza Motorsport 5, when it came out as a launch game, it was 1080p native, 60 frames per second. And I know people were talking about the crowd because, you know, when you're racing through a fucking,
but you gotta remember,
210 miles an hour, you're gonna look at the crowd and be like, "Are they 2D over there?"
But you gotta remember that kind of Forza Motorsport isn't really it's almost kind of a niche title.
You know you can do with that word, right?
Yeah, you don't like that word. Man.
Yeah, well, it is, but whatever way you want to say it is.
Yeah, it really is because not everybody's into, you know, the motorsport games.
For a small
yes, are people are going to buy it. Or are you thinking United States? Hold on.
I'm thinking globally.
All right.
You're coming on my podcast and telling me to shit.
Are you thinking globally or are you thinking United States wise? Because globally, racing is hot.
Right.
All right.
No,
just like when people are looking forward to Madden and then they look at FIFA and it's like, well, why are people so pumped? Because internationally, soccer, aka the real football, is the world's number one sport. The world's number one sport. And I know, like, playing Forza Motorsport, I don't know how many times I've gotten into parties and I've gotten into races where the majority of people were not speaking English. Like, there was Swedish, German. I've had people from South America. It is an international title,
right?
Dude.
But people are basically going to be showing Okay, people. I should have said people in the United States, so I can clarify for you that
America.
most people in the United States are going to just be getting this game just to show off what the Scorpio looks like. It's not going to be that game where people are going to be playing it all the time and doing that kind of stuff and really looking into what the graphics are and stuff.
Yeah.
People are really going to be looking at games like Shadow of War, Crackdown 3, those kind of games to really see the graphical push of a game, because they know that they're going to be having a story, they're going to be having a lot of action. Most Americans, that's what we love. We love action. Of course I'm going to pick up Forza Motorsport 7
because you want to get beat by me games very badly.
I'm sure I will get beat because I get beat by most people in the game.
To be completely fair, though, Xbox is not so international itself yet. They're trying to get there, but they're not that spread out yet, and that's why he was saying it's more of a niche title, because most of Xbox customers are here in the United States. So,
I got you,
myself, I'm not really the only Forza that I'm gonna play is Horizon. Like, I'm not into the Motorsport series, so.
So you're a more casual racer. I got you, man. It's all good.
I'm pretty sure it'll be a good showpiece, but
dude, it's gonna be such a good. Hold on, guys. It's gonna be such a good showcase that is gonna be what they start with. They're gonna. I can almost guarantee you they're gonna start showing Forza Motorsport 7. But then they're going to go into the Scorpio. But they're going to be like, yeah, and by the way, that is Forza Motorsport 7. It is running on the Scorpio. We'll talk more about the game in a little bit, but here's the system. I think this graphically, it is such a showpiece that is what they're going to start with. The first game that you're going to see on the screen is going to be Forza Motorsport 7, because it is going to look drop dead gorgeous.
Right. Yeah. I'm not denying you of that. I'm just saying, like, most people are really going to look towards, other games to show, to really have them get into, the Scorpio and things like that.
Yeah, and I agree with Optimus there, because let's say when you put money into a PC, even if you're looking more at like what's gonna challenge the PC. And a game that's going to challenge even the highest end PC on max settings that might not be able to handle the game is like The Witcher 3. Your PC might not be able to handle that game. That is, if you can show The Witcher 3 running really well, that's a fucking showpiece, because most things can't handle that, even the highest end PC. While Forza Motorsport is not as dynamic as a game like The Witcher.
Yeah, it's more of a corridor type game. So,
we're breaking Bot's heart right now. You can hear it.
No. See, again, I'm going back to this thing. You guys, and I do appreciate this, right? Don't get it twisted. You guys are talking like hardcore gamers.
And I understand because you're talking like a hardcore Forza Motorsport fan.
No. I'm looking at it. Hold on. I'm looking at it with what the dev has done with the hardware that they have had in the past. And this developer is absolutely top-notch at extracting every single bit of power out of the hardware to make the game. And I feel that's why it's going to, because the graphics, they want to show the graphics. When it comes to Scorpio, everybody's been talking about 4K, right? But I feel that is like the third step on the ladder. I think the number one step, what's really going to show the Scorpio and what it can do graphically is the improved textures, is the improved lighting, the improved shadows. All right. Native resolution isn't the end all be all of graphics. And I'm actually getting tired of seeing 4K on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that, because that is not all there is. That is not all the Scorpio offers. You know what I'm saying? They're offering the high end PC assets to the games as well on your console. That should be the number one thing when it comes to the graphics on Scorpio.
Yeah, I agree that the lighting and textures is where it's at, but I still lean more towards what Remix was saying about, Shadow of War being more of the showpiece in that case versus a Forza, because Shadow of War is going to be more of an open world game. And if they can give you those lighting, those textures, that real fidelity in that game, that's going to really show the power of the Scorpio versus Forza.
But
And
Shadow
that's
of War is a niche title, though.
Okay, but so it's Forza.
Damn it, bot!
And Forza Motorsport, I don't disagree that it's a nice showpiece, but my point is, and this is not a hardcore perspective, I don't think. I think this is a casual perspective as well. If you want to be blown away, you show something that is a racer's not as difficult as a large open world with lots of craziness going on to, show off well,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, my overall opinion is, if you want to blow me away, if you want to blow a casual away, you need to show something really like nice and cinematic or an open world that most things can't.
Now,
because casuals don't pick up Forza, bro.
Now check this out.
Casuals picked up The Witcher. That's what the casuals picked up.
No,
Exactly.
Casuals picked up The Witcher. Okay.
They did.
They did, though, in some sort of capacity.
That would probably be the reason I didn't pick it up then.
Yo, my friend is as casual as you can get, and he has The Witcher. He barely plays video games,
I got you.
I know a lot more casuals that would have bought The Witcher than fucking Forza.
I hear what you're saying, but now with talking about the conference, supposedly they're going to announce and they're going to show a brand new Splinter Cell, and Xbox is the stage that is going to show the next Assassin's Creed. Story based,
and those are showpieces too.
Action, and they're going to be running on Scorpio.
Those are definitely showpieces.
The thing is, a lot of people were doubting Microsoft's Xbox conference, and I have no idea why. You know what I'm saying? When you have games like Forza Motorsport, Crackdown, Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, State of Decay 2, like when you have these games coming out and being shown on your brand new hardware, which is the most powerful console ever made, and it's not just the native resolution. Like I said, it's all the things. It's the graphical fidelity of the games. Yo, this is gonna blow people away. And I don't understand what all the doubt was for. And then if you
I understand. I'll tell you what the doubt was. The doubt was that people think to themselves that Microsoft is going to show off the Scorpio for an hour and a half. They're not going to fucking do that. They're not going to pull a 2013 on us. They're not going to do that shit.
Phil just asked for more. Phil just asked for more time because he wanted to add some games in that they may have had to cut off within the 90-minute time frame.
They said that they're going over 90 now, man.
Yeah.
But still, they're not going to talk about the Scorpio for an hour and a half. Yeah. I think that's what people were thinking they were going to do.
I'm pretty sure,
they were thinking, oh well, they're going to talk about the hardware. They may talk about a few games here and there, and then that's it. But no, I think they're going to be talking about, a ton of games. They're going to be, like Bot said, they're going to be talking about Splinter Cell. They're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed. All these games are really going to showcase what the Scorpio can do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can expect at least a couple new IP, and then, you have State of Decay too. So you guys think we're going to get release dates for all of that? When would you guys think we're going to get release dates for like State of Decay 2?
It'll be this year.
Crackdown 3.
State of Decay is
I'm pretty sure they said Q4. They said Q4 of this year. I'm just what month do you think is coming in? You think it's coming around the Scorpio?
Well, isn't Q4 from? I mean, it's even next year, right? Q4 this year's next year too,
January.
Right? It goes into
December,
January,
November, and October.
Yeah, right? October to January. To the beginning of January, I believe.
So, in that time frame, that's probably when we'll get it. Probably, I would say probably at the end of November, maybe. If anything, if I was going to put
it away from the December slot, because the December slot killed Dead Rising.
That's true. You're absolutely right, dude. But you know why? I think Dead Rising got killed is because it was a Christmas themed game. And, a lot of people, after Christmas is done, they're like, okay, I'm over Christmas. And, they don't give a shit about that anymore.
I got you. But, I don't know. State of Decay, it's kind of hard to slam down a date. But this is also a very interesting year because up until just today, with some pictures of like some Halo Gravemind things that came out on Twitter, you know, they're saying they're not really. There's nothing with Gears. There's nothing with Halo or
Right.
anything, and those usually dominate, you know, the prime release dates and stuff like that. So. I mean, I see Crackdown taking over one of those prime slots, but you know, I think Forza Motorsport is going to release in September, the same way Forza always does. I don't know, maybe maybe early November for State of Decay. It would be good to have that out there, especially riding the wave of these like multiplayer kind of really
Focused,
multiplayer based games, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do you
especially
guys-
with,
Early
with
November,
COD and
though,
all that.
always has big hitters. I mean, Call of Duty's always first week of November, and it's going to have some other games around that period as well.
Well, Assassin's Creed's definitely going to be in November.
Yeah.
It always comes out in November, and that's when it's going to come out.
What do you guys want in the way of new IP from Microsoft?
Dude, just surprise me. You know, like just give me a surprise. I don't, you know, honestly, I don't really care.
Yeah.
As
Everybody
long as
wants
it's something
some heavy
I don't
cinematic game, so give us a heavy cinematic game to shut everybody the fuck up.
Some type
And
of
I'll be
deep
happy.
RPG? That'd be good.
Well,
Nah, people want like a Rise, Son of Rome, or an Uncharted 4 or something like that. So give us something for like that.
I am
those people will be happy.
pumped for the teaser of Fable. I want to see
Yeah.
how they bring that out. It's probably one of the worst kept secrets for this year's E3 that they're going to put out a teaser for the Fable reboot, and I'm real interested in that. I was a big fan of the first couple Fables. I played and I beat Fable 3, but I felt like they depended way too much on guns. I feel like the gaming industry is watered down by guns. And I love the kind of like magic and swordplay of like the first Fable, and then they kind of introduced guns into the second one, and then by the third one it was supposed to be like the Industrial Revolution, and there were rifles and shotguns and handguns and all that good stuff. So if they can bring it back and kind of reboot that franchise, I'm really interested in that. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm interested in this new Assassin's Creed, because I think they did the same thing with Assassin's Creed. My favorite Assassin's Creeds were 2 and Brotherhood. And I feel like after that, I mean, I played Black Flag. I actually liked Black Flag. But the other Assassin's Creed titles around that, I felt like, you know, you could just shoot the guy. You didn't have to sneak up to him and stab him with your hidden blade and stuff. There was just so many guns around and stuff like that. You could just shoot the guy. So I'm interested in the Assassin's Creed because they're bringing that back as well, back in time.
Oh yeah, my favorites were 1, 2 Brotherhood, and I played some of Black Flag, but I don't even think I bought any of the other ones. So
Yeah, I mean, I played all of them. I played every single Assassin's Creed. Not all of them from beginning to end, but you know, that's a different story because, you know, some of them sucked. But I'm absolutely ecstatic for what they're bringing with Assassin's Creed Origins. You know,
so
them
should we
going
just start
into-
talking about Ubisoft?
Yeah, I mean, we might as well because I mean we're already into Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed. But yeah, I mean they're definitely going to bring something to the table with Assassin's Creed. I think they're definitely going to bring something. You know, Ubisoft is definitely going to bring, you know, Splinter Cell. Hopefully, you know, it's you know, as awesome as, you know, the Michael Ironside games. Blacklist was cool too. Blacklist was fun, but I want them to definitely go back and do something really special for the Splinter Cell fans. We're definitely going to see some new IPs from Ubisoft because we always do. You know, they brought out Steep last year. That wasn't very great, but you know, we'll see something from them. You know, we'll see. You know, and we're also going to see more Far Cry 5, which is awesome too. So.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Far Cry 5. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, it's good that you guys went on the Ubisoft. I was going to kind of open it up and just go ahead and cover Ubisoft, Bethesda, and EA, and you just kind of tell what you expect from each of the ones. So with Ubisoft, for myself, I think they'll bring out Rainbow Six has been so successful for them. I'm thinking that it'll have some type of conference. And of course, you'll see Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, The Crew 2. I don't know if they For Honor has really had a drop off in player base. I don't know if they would want to give that game some type of stage time to try to reinvigorate it in some type of way. We'll just have to see. And then isn't Need for Speed Ubisoft?
That's EA.
EA, okay. Well, then that's about it for Ubisoft for me.
Yeah, Ubisoft is doing another racer. What is their racer? Is it Drive Club?
Well, the Crew 2.
Or
No,
the Crew.
yeah.
The Crew
Yeah,
2.
the Crew
That's
2.
what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
But I'm
yo,
not
Baines,
interested in that.
let's just be honest here, man. Anything is better than their conference from last year. Like
true.
last year, like in my opinion, Ubisoft and EA were kind of tied for the worst fucking conference last year. So, I mean, with the Crew 2, and then the rumors and stuff about Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed coming back and going back in time as opposed to forward. Anything's better than what they showed last year, man. Last year was dog shit. And I got a copyright claim on the live reaction to the Ubisoft one. So yeah, fucking Ubisoft, all right?
They don't like you, dude.
No,
So
I don't like them
Ubisoft.
either. Steep is garbage.
Yeah, Steve
Yeah, it
was
is.
garbage, man. I don't
Hey,
agree.
Yo, but the thing about Ubisoft for me, I want to see Splinter Cell, of course, and Assassin's Creed and that good stuff. But I feel like they do take some risks. Those risks don't always pan out. Sometimes they don't put enough time into their games, whatever the case may be. But they do take some risks, and I'm excited to see something new from Ubisoft because I think they could be kind of creative. I mean, people want a different kind of shooter. There is a different kind of shooter in Rainbow Six Siege. I love Rainbow Six Siege, and I really enjoy that game. For Honor, it's though its fan base may have dropped off. I mean, at least it's a different kind of game, right?
Yeah.
Something that's not common. So I want to see something new from Ubisoft, see what they can do, and maybe they'll have another decent game on their hands. But yeah.
What about EA? The only thing I'm looking forward to from EA is Battlefront 2.
What are you talking
There's Battlefront 2.
Are you kidding me? Need for
Honestly,
Speed.
I'm
looks
interested in Need for Speed. Yeah. I'm interested in Need for Speed, even though I'm not a big racer guy. And there are other Star Wars stuff. They have other Star Wars projects in the works. So I want to see some stuff from that, and I think we will. So
Yeah, I think you're excited about Battlefront 2. I'm excited for that too, but the Need for Speed trailer reminded me of Fast and the Furious on crack, and I was all like, man, I'm all in for it. If they do it right and they make a great game, definitely picking it up. I'm gonna wait, of course, until I hear people's feedback. I want to hear everybody, what they have to say about the game before I pick that one up, because I've been burned before by Need for Speed. But I'm holding out for hope that this one's gonna be good. Of course, I want to see the Star Wars stuff. I definitely want to see more, from Amy Hennig's, Star Wars game she did. I definitely want to see maybe even a new IP from EA or something like that, or maybe even a Dead Space like 4 or a reboot to Dead Space or something like that. I definitely want to see what Madden's going to bring to the table, because I know they're putting in that story
fuck
mode.
that, man. Dude,
They're putting in that
so
they're putting
good.
in a story mode,
You were
dude.
going so good.
Dude,
until
they're
you
putting
said
in a story
man.
mode. You got it.
I don't really like any of the sports games. So,
dude, if they bring back Fight Night though, like that would blow everything else.
That is not going to happen. But if they did bring back a fight night, I'll be all on that.
Not for anything, not for anything. But people are on Twitter and stuff always talking about fight night. You know what's funny? If they actually do get a fight night, half those people ain't even gonna fucking buy it.
I'll buy it. I'm gonna buy it. I'll buy it.
Well, you're not half the people, man. You're one. Okay?
I'm a 1%er, damn it.
No, you're not even 1%. You're like a 0.0000001, maybe.
You're a 0.0000001.
Maybe another 3 zeros.
Put you in the 3
It'll be interesting to see how their NBA game pans out, though. Because
garbage.
Live is not good. No way.
2K is running it right now, so
yeah, 2K is head over heels, way more popular and way more in tune with basketball than EA is with their live series. There's no way. If they surprise us, awesome, but they still haven't surprised us yet with live. Hopefully they do something. Maybe UFC wise. Hopefully it'll be good this time around. UFC 2 was okay, but it wasn't great.
Do you think we'll
see something there?
Do you guys think we'll see anything of those other Star Wars games? I think Respawn's supposed to be working on one.
Yeah, I think we will. I wouldn't be surprised if we got maybe a day for one of them, but I think we will purely for the fact that another Star Wars movie is coming out this year. And, I mean, they showed us a reel last year, so if nothing else, I think we'll get another reel of Star Wars stuff,
And what was that other game? I think it was EA that's working on this other game that's supposed to be marketed by Microsoft. They were working close with Microsoft with it. It's coming from BioWare.
Oh, yeah, I read something about that. I can't remember, though.
Okay. I don't remember if there was a title name, but when it comes down to it, like
or something like that.
EA has a lot of stuff that they're working on, so they have a lot of potential with their conference, and they even have an indie program as well. So you're gonna get to see something from EA's kind of like indie program, as well, which could be good. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of potential, man. But I'm just I am tired of Madden. I am freaking tired of it. I am a little partial because I was a big NFL 2K fan. All right. And I feel like when they come out with Madden, even when they make improvements, it's nowhere near what I feel 2K can do with a licensed football game. And I am gonna be that way all the way through until that license clears up and more developers are able to go in and make football games. I'm just Madden is not on my radar whatsoever. But they got a lot of Star Wars stuff that they're working on. They have their indie program. There's a lot of things to look forward to, from EA. So they can have a really good show. They can end up kind of stealing the conference. You know what I'm saying? If they really put everything out there.
Yeah.
What about Bethesda? I'm looking forward to the Evil Within 2. I want something from Fallout, and then the new Wolfenstein game. I think we're definitely get a date for that one.
Yeah, I don't know. VR. So yeah, like the Bethesda theme park thing. A lot of people think it'll be Evil Within and Wolfenstein, which I think those are probable. But I want to see something new from Bethesda, not a sequel because I think they do, but because for the longest time they've said we have a few this many projects in the works and one or two of them are a new IP. So I'm tired of hearing about it. I want to see it, Yeah. And I don't know if this would fall into any of these conferences, but I want to see Borderlands, man, because me and Borderlands. That's my favorite game of all time. And my last thing on the whole E3 is I'm excited about Devolver, man, having their own press conference. Not necessarily because I'm a fan of them or anything, but just because we're saying earlier in the show that I've been playing more indies or more different kind of games, and just to switch up the pace. And so I'm excited about Devolver for that reason. See, because they should bring out some high quality indie games.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe change the pace a little bit. So, and I also think it'll just be interesting to see, you know, a new face in there, kind of, you know, in the big rotation.
Any other thoughts on either Devolver or Bethesda?
The only thing I could see from Bethesda is probably a new IP, and then probably Wolfenstein. I honestly can't see anything else. I don't know what else they make, honestly. Like I mean, they already came out with Fallout 4. They already came out with Prey. They already have, you know, Doom out there. They already have Dishonored 2 out there, you know. It's just, you know, I don't know what else they can really throw at
Well,
us.
they could have the sequel to Evil Within. I think that's
True.
possible.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
we'll probably see something like that. But we're definitely going to see another Wolfenstein. I'm pretty positive on that one. If I'm wrong, then of course I'll eat crow.
You know, last year with Bethesda, they kind of kicked off the show. They killed it that first night. Last year's E3. And I love what Bethesda does, man. They hold their IPs close to the chest until they're ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they held Fallout really close to the chest until they were ready. They showed it at E3, and then it came out. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because Bethesda will get cheered for stuff like that, and then when Phil Spencer is like, "Well, we're only going to show games, you know, coming out for like the near future," people get pissed off. But I think Bethesda is a quality developer that has earned our respect, and I think they're going to have a quality show. I think they're going to go a little more into VR on their conference because they have Doom VR. I think they really want to show Fallout VR as well. So I think that's going to be on the stage, which is cool because, you know, eventually down the line, if you have a Scorpio, you'll be able to do mixed reality on the Scorpio and stuff like that. And see, that's something we haven't touched on with the Xbox conference. Is anybody on the panel kind of disappointed that we're not going to see mixed reality on the Xbox stage?
No, I'm not. I honestly don't care.
I think I'd like to see it, but I understand why like they wouldn't necessarily show it just because it's not too popular right now, you know.
All right, so read the tea leaves here, because at first they were going to show the mixed reality, the augmented reality and the virtual reality, but then they took that out of their conference, right? So they have to fill that in with games. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, the conference is going to run longer than 90 minutes now because they're adding more games. So this is kind of funny. Like, you know, people are like, well, what does Xbox have? Well, obviously they have a lot. If they took out the whole, you know, mixed reality thing and they're just putting games in there, if they're adding more time to their conference, like, this is going to be a great show this year all the way around, I think.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last but not least, we have Nintendo. I think they're having like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't even bring up Nintendo because I don't care. Like, they're not really even doing a conference.
We already know what they're gonna have. We already know what they have. They're not gonna bring anything new. They're not bringing nothing new at all. It's gonna be Mario Odyssey. We may see a Metroid. I don't know.
I want a Metroid, dude. I want a Metroid.
But that's like so up in the air. We don't even know, dude. You know, we're gonna see Splatoon 2. You know, they're gonna be like, here, you know, get Splatoon 2 when it releases. You know,
dude, if you have a Switch, you need to get that game. I played that game, dude. I played Splatoon 2.
Yeah, I'd actually play Splatoon 2, but I don't have
it is incredible. That game is so much fun. And kind of like the redoing of the graphics and stuff like that. Like, it is a quality game. It's going to be a premier title on the Switch. Like, dude, I highly recommend when that game releases that if you have a Switch, you get that game.
Yeah, Optimus is just a hater, you know. So
well, I'm not a hater. I'm just saying that, you know, they're not bringing anything new to us. You know,
remix.
Oh yeah, I know. I agree.
We got to face it. He's not King Neutral, man. You know,
Dude, I'm more neutral than you are, bro. Okay?
Yeah, Xbot.
Xbot.
what I do?
Yeah. I think Nintendo, you know, they'll have the ones that we talked about. Maybe they'll tease you a Metroid or something like that. And they have several other IPs that they could tease, but I guess we'll have to see. They only have like 30 minutes of some type of recording or something like that. Is that how their show's supposed to go?
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're really doing a conference. I think they're kind of doing like last year they did a treehouse thing.
Nintendo Direct.
So yeah, I don't know what that's gonna really entail, but
Right.
my phone.
So I mean, it is what it is.
Well, let's wrap up you guys' final thoughts on E3. Then we'll wrap everything else. What do you guys have any final thoughts on any of the guys? You know, PlayStation, Ubisoft, Bethesda, EA, Xbox.
All I gotta say is I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too.
And you know,
Yeah, it's exciting.
I have my thoughts on everything else, so I'm pumped. Can't wait to go there as well. You know, it's gonna be exciting. Game Down Sight's my boy. I'm gonna meet him.
Nice.
And we're gonna play some motherfucking games together. So that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
You know, that's the thing. Around this time of the year, I get like crazy hyped, and I get freaking absolutely off my rocker. So
Yeah,
you probably won't see me for a couple days after E3.
I'm pretty geeked. Man. I mean, I'm really looking forward to. I want to see that price of the Scorpio. That's a big thing. I'm hoping to get.
That's gonna be 3 chickens and a mule.
They're gonna want an arm. They're gonna want a leg. They're gonna want all your body parts.
Not 350. 450. Is that 3 chickens?
Need about 350.
Or 450. Fucking, I keep saying 350. I mean 450.
350.
Yeah, I'm
350.
thinking $399.
Oh goodness, here we go. No, let's not get into this.
Let's not get into pricing.
Final thoughts for me when it comes to E3. You know, everybody out there, they argue about, you know, whose conference was better, whose conference did this, whose conference did that, who won E3. Guys, let's just be honest here. When it's all said and done, you know who wins E3?
We do.
Okay, the gamers win E3. We see new games coming down the line. We see games that we've been anticipating getting release dates. This is what it's about, all right? And the whole argument about who won, you could go back and forth and you could say, you know, Sony had the best this and then Xbox had the best that. But just remember, when it comes to who won, we did, all right? And that's all that matters right there.
Yeah, completely agree.
Final words of Xbot448.
What, am I gonna die or something? What the fuck, yo?
That sounded kind of ominous, man.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I know he doesn't trust me.
You're definitely gonna go.
I just saw somebody like hanging out my window. Is that you, Remix?
No, it's me. It's me. Ha!
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. We're gonna let the panel members tell you where you can find them at. First off, we'll start with our guest, Xbot.
Yeah, man. First of all, thank you for having me on again. Like I said, my lazy boy was in the exact same spot, exact same position.
Sir.
So I really do appreciate that. You know, for anybody who wants to follow me on social media, Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, I keep everything very, very simple. It's all Xbot448. Of course, I have a YouTube channel, which is Xbot448. So you might want to go over there, check that out. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. We do a podcast every Saturday called The Next Podcast, which is on at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm also on another podcast. It's a small podcast. You might have heard of it. BGST stands for Big Gamers.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, it's Big Gamers Small Talk. It's hosted by my boy Zaire.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, we also have Crap Gamer, Tim Dog, K Mega, Showstopper. Like, you know, it is an awesome bunch of people for a podcast. I am also on a morning podcast every Wednesday on Oh Snap It's Mel's channel, which is called Coffee, Casuals, and Consoles. It's a lot of fun doing that as well. That's every Wednesday, 10:30 in the morning Eastern. And other than that, I do want to extend an invite. a little while after the show, I'm thinking about maybe 11:30 or so. I am gonna try to get as many people together to do Halo 5 free for all, everybody for themselves. So if anybody wants to join up with that, my gamer tag Xbot448, I will be starting a party in about a half hour or so. And like I said, guys, thanks for having me on. It's been an absolute blast, Joe.
Nice. Remix.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I played Halo, man, so I might have to check that out tonight. But where you can find me, Twitter, YouTube, Xbox, PlayStation, it's all Remix Essence. But where you really should go is Mixer. I've been streaming a lot lately. So, Friday the 13th, the culling, just stream some Titanfall, going to stream some Siege. So, all good stuff. Hit me up on Mixer, and that's also Remix Essence. That's it for me.
All right, Artemis.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox Live at the same name. Bot, my boy, thanks for coming out tonight, man, and hanging out with us on the Quest podcast, bro. Thanks for being a good sport, dude. We get into it sometimes, but you haven't heard the last from me, dude. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, man, it was a fun show. I'm so glad you were able to come on tonight, man. For sure. I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it.
All right, and I'm MBangs99. I've been your host tonight. We really appreciate Bot again for coming through. Like I said, you're not a guest, man. You're like family to the show, so we really appreciate it. And it's MBangs99 on Xbox and PlayStation. Other than that, play your games, man. We're gonna be out this piece.
Peace.
Yep.